What do you call it? Do you the finger drag? You can zoom in and out.
You suck.
I got this.
But you should rest it on here so we
Landscape.
move it.
It looks better on YouTube like that.
Yeah, no one does vertical. All right, as I mentioned earlier, we've taken the pan.
There we are.
Oh. No, cut. Hey, can you cut it in post? Just cut it in post.
Welcome to Code 5 Art. Today I'm going to be giving you 5 basic tips for whenever you're commissioning your own art. Now, I haven't commissioned my art in years, and naturally, I made some mistakes. So I'd rather pass on some information to you guys so that you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. Now, who is the client? So a buddy of mine that I went to school with reached out to me and wanted to get a piece done for his DJ table that he built. Now, he is since graduated college and has gone on to become a DJ, playing shows all around the world, actually. It turns out he only lives a couple hours away in the mountains. The goal of this video is to go over some advice on how to commission your art, but at the same time, stick around to the end and you can actually see the final piece that I made for PharmDJ. All right. Tip number 1. Make sure you know where the gig is. Not only directions to the gig, but know where you're spray painting. What I'm spray painting is a panel off of a DJ booth. And the problem is I can't spray that inside. It needs to go outside, in the mountains, in the cold. The very first problem that I ran into is that spray paint doesn't work very well in the cold. When you spray paint it, if you're going to layer anything at all, keep in mind the paint takes forever to dry. Forever. And so that expands your timeline a little bit more. You'll notice that a lot of these tips are based around planning. Something I didn't do very well. All right, tip number 2 is make sure you know what you're doing. I mean, you can get some really easy instructions like this, but you still have to have a sketch. You have to have an idea of what you're going to go through and go do. Make sure that you know simple things like the dimensions. I did not know that. I didn't know how big or small it was. I just kind of guessed it. And everything would have went much smoother if I just actually known what I got myself into. And I would have made it work a lot better.
This, Rick. I got you working on this painting of mine, and I don't know if you can do it, Rick. It's not gonna help with the time travel. Oh, Rick.
Tip number 3, you gotta know who your client is. After all, you are creating something for them. You are making art for them, and you gotta know what they would like, what would be interesting for them. So when you can make some judgment calls, that would go into something that they would enjoy and be a happy customer in the end. After all, business relationships matter, right?
It's moving at a very, very high speed.
Do I need one of those respirator things?
Tip number 4, always have an idea what the timeline is. And that could be a gig that you're painting over several days or just in a night. But as always, whatever you think you can estimate, either double it, increase it by 50%. You know what? Stuff is always going to go wrong. I underestimated the place, the temperature, how I could paint, where I was painting, what I was painting on, the sketch design. I made a bunch of mistakes, and if I would have planned better, if I had a better timeline and then expanded on it, I would have gauged expectations a little bit better. All right, so the 5th and final and most important piece of advice I have is it's corny, but have fun. Honestly, like, you guys are both in this engagement to come to a happy ending. You guys both want to do some good art. You want to have some art. Like, you guys both want something to come together. The client and the artist both want the same thing. So if you guys are able to get together and have fun and do it, it just makes the whole engagement that much better. So with that being said, let's check out the final piece.